makes the 5 a.m. low in your eyes says your heart is changing. Now we don't dance like we used to. Silent disco on the floor, baby. Mr. DJ, you get me through. When the beat's gone, you can't save me. Now we don't dance like we used to. Silent disco on the floor, baby. Mr. DJ, you get me through. When the beat's gone, you can't save me. Under those lights, you turn it on right. You're on fire, baby. Still drinking too much has got you losing your touch tonight. Now we don't dance like we used to. Silent disco on the floor, baby. Mr. DJ, he'll get me through. When the beat's gone, you can't save me, baby.
This is Broad Radio. For you, by you. Broad Radio. Here for more.
Good morning and welcome to Broad Radio for the last show of the year. My name's Jo Stanley. My co-host today is the delightful Nelly Thomas. Good morning.
Oh my God. I'm so excited.
You just described this show as this is loose. You
This is-
literally just said
Mate, you are a loose unit and this show is loose and full of juice.
It really is because I don't know. I love live entertainment,
Yeah.
live radio,
Yeah.
live TV. It's the spontaneity of it and the fly by the seat of your
Do you know
pants
what
of
it is? It's the stand up in both of us going, ooh, it's very similar. You know?
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. And I have to say, I genuinely feel just so chuffed to be your co-host for the last show of the season.
Oh, thanks, darling.
I really do. It's lovely.
Oh, it's a joy to have you. And I don't know, something happened to me as I was planning the show where I went, oh yeah, put that in. And now, you know, as is what our want at this time of year, we think we can bend time.
I was just going to say, it is like a metaphor for what we're going to discuss today because you go, I can catch up with Amy and Marty on Wednesday and then I can see Triana on Thursday night and Saturday morning I can do a run.
Yeah.
And
then I'll go grocery shopping and then I'll fit in going to
by
see
Friday
Grandma. And
night,
it's like,
I'm
what?
going nowhere. Everyone's got COVID. That's your excuse. Sorry, I tested positive.
It's so
for the
true.
75th time.
So we have jammed so much into this show. There's a chance we'll go till 10:30, and it's a 1
stay
hour
with
show.
us.
It doesn't even matter. But
No.
you know, we have Broad Radio listeners joining
Yes.
us. Some of our favourites who've been with us right from the beginning. We have other co-hosts joining us on the line. Shelley, Ware, and Serpil Senelmis are joining us. We've got Jude Perl is going to sing us a couple of
Jude.
songs. She's one of my favourite. She's a musical genius and hilarious. And Flic Manning, who is a writer, broadcaster, chronic illness advocate, is joining us just to help us out as far as creating an accessible Christmas or holiday season, making it accessible for all.
Well, think about it. Think about the differing needs of the people in your life. And I mean, even on that energy level, I'm sure we'll talk to her about this. Think about how you can make things inclusive, not just in terms of a ramp.
Yes.
You know, if someone needs it for wheelchair accessibility, but in terms of quiet rooms.
Oh, all
in
of that.
terms of how long the event goes for.
But even
all the
COVID,
stuff.
I mean, it's
Everything.
everywhere,
Yeah.
and it is a real threat. So
Indeed.
looking forward to speaking with Flic as well. As we get into this show, you highlighted to me, Nelly, a meme that probably it really reflects what a lot of us are feeling.
Can I
at this.
read
So
it?
please read it.
So
Yes.
it's actually a tweet, and credit to Vision Board, as in Bored. She's bored. Vision Board 1. She says, when will they make a Hallmark Christmas movie about a mum who slowly loses her mind because no one appreciates her, and by the end she sets fire to the Christmas tree and maniacally throws all the presents in the snow and runs down the street in her bathrobe screaming, "Fuck everything!" I am volunteering to fulfill that role for free.
I hope that we film it for Hallmark.
I mean, does that not express? Because we hear about like the magical season, and I bloody love Christmas. Like, I'm a secular Christmas dude, but I love Christmas. But the magic is not magic. It is usually the work of women.
Huge amount of work. And I am surrounded by men of a certain generation who think it's funny, and I'm not talking about my husband, I'm talking about an older generation.
Yeah.
They think it's funny to always say, oh, well, you know, the wife looks after that. The wife does that. Oh, isn't that hilarious? And I'm thinking, I bet the wife doesn't think that's funny.
No, like I've said it so it's neutralised. No, mate, it's worse that you know...
Oh, yes.
That you're not doing anything and that you do 3 dishes and want a standing ovation. It's worse that you know and think it's funny.
But even the presents, the fact that, I just will not buy presents for my in-laws. I love them.
Yeah.
I love that family, but that's my husband's family.
Yes.
You buy them presents.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's not my job.
It's not your job, but I think one of the interesting things about that is that the blowback for that, let's say you chose not to and then no present was bought for your in-laws, culturally, the consequences are still on you. You know, it's not like the in-laws sit there all day fuming going, our son didn't buy us a present. Like, can you believe Joe didn't even get us some bloody Cadbury favourites?
Well, luckily, we don't do presents on that side of the family anymore, and I love that. There is nothing more freeing than going, you know what, we're adults.
Right.
Why don't we just buy ourselves something we want?
Oh, what a Grinch.
No.
You didn't expect that, did you? I hate vouchers. I hate no gifts, please. I throw all my environmental and anti-capitalist credential out the window. I spend money I don't have. I am mental this time of year. I'm owning it.
Well, I mean, good. You've inspired me. Good, you've inspired me, because I will say I am this mother who walks around the house stomping around going, no one appreciates me. And in the end, I go to bed and realise I was really annoying and unpleasant to be with. And why don't I just be more, I don't know, joyous?
Just chill, because you know why? Because there's a lot of pressure. I tried to do, remember there was a thing that went around a few years ago that went, mums go on strike, right? I tried it. This one Christmas, I said to everyone coming, I do Christmas every year. I cook for days. I bloody clean. I do the presents. I'm not doing it. Like, this year, please, I'm literally asking you to do it. And we ended up with like a bowl of salad and a taco.
And in the end, you actually see, you want it to be beautiful, and I love all that part of it.
I want the table groaning.
Yeah. Yes. Well, this has inspired me to actually, you know what, let's kind of embrace it.
Chill.
I'm going, chill.
Yeah.
Have a laugh at your own expense, and maybe dive into some music, because I love a Christmas carol.
Oh, I love a Christmas. I'm going to the carols on Saturday. I love it. Mad for a carol.
Yeah. Do you play Mariah on Christmas Day?
I'll play anything. You know, when people complain about, there's Mariah on in the shopping centre, I'm that really embarrassing mum who's like grooving through Northlands.
Singing along.
Mariah's on. I am happy as Larry. It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. I love that shit.
It's awesome. And, let's introduce our first guest, because we've got to keep moving. There's so much to fit into
Mariah.
This. Yes.
The Melbourne Mariah.
She is a musical genius and hilarious to boot. Jude Perl, hello.
Hello, thank you for having me in this festive time.
Look at that festive spirit and your beautiful jumper. You've got a tree. It even looks like nighttime. Santa could come down the bloody chimney.
At any moment, watch out for
Anytime.
a man down your chimney. You're going to set the tone for us here, Jude, by starting the show with a musical delight.
Yes, this is a Christmas song that I've written. I love Christmas so much, obviously.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that's surprising.
It's come through.
So I love Christmas so much, and I love all the classic Christmas tales, they get told every year, like The Grinch and Muppets Christmas Carol. I love all of it. It's so good. And so I wanted to contribute a classic Christmas tale to that canon. And that's what this song is. So hopefully in years to come, this will be as good as The Grinch. Well, Santa's got his sleigh and all his reindeer, and he's the reason all the presents came here. He eats his milk and cookies, then he's out the door. But who is gonna clean these crumbs off the floor? Christmas slug slithering down the chimney. He's gonna eat all the crumbs that Santa left. Chocolate chip is his favorite on Christmas. Christmas slug slithering down the hallway. He's gonna make all your Christmas dreams come true. Christmas slug, he loves eating crumbs on Christmas. Before the season ends, he's gonna be your best friend. And yes, he might be slow. And does he even know it's Christmas? Christmas slug slithering through the nighttime. He doesn't care if you've been good or bad. And everywhere he goes, he leaves a sparkly trail that glows just like Christmas snow. And though he might be small, he can still deck the halls and hang some Christmas balls. You never have to fear around this time of year, 'cause you know the Christmas slug is here. He's the Christmas slug. The Christmas slug. He's the Christmas slug. He's the Christmas slug.
Oh, I love it. And why isn't the Christmas slug a part of tradition?
Oh, I honestly, Jude, I thought you were going to go that first line. The Christmas. I thought it was going to be the Christmas mum.
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been.
That's true.
They work together. The Christmas
they
slug
do
and the Christmas
indeed.
mum are a team.
I
Yeah.
would take the Christmas slug over Elf on the Shelf any day. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I'm enraged by Elf on the Shelf. Honestly.
Yes.
We're
You've got
going
some
to.
Christmas rage in there, haven't you?
Oh, so much.
Just below the surface. Maybe not even below the surface, Jude. Your voice,
Right.
Jude.
But-
Come on, girl. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Stop it, you. Don't even.
No, you stop it. No, don't stop it. It's beautiful.
Okay,
It
no,
is
you don't
beautiful.
stop either. Thank
But
you.
also, to me, it's the way you write your music. I love
Yes.
your chord progressions.
Yes.
The muso dork in me absolutely loves that. You're going to join us in a little later on in the show for some more musical delights.
She'll be back.
Cannot wait for
Yes.
that. Thanks so much, Jude.
Thanks, Jude.
Jude.
Merry
Thanks.
Christmas.
She has set the tone, and maybe I am being a bit of a Grinch. I don't mean to be,
Oh,
but Elf on the
no.
Shelf really pisses me off. It makes me quite sweary, which leads me to
Right.
our first listener who's joining us today. She has been a supporter of Broad Radio right from the beginning. She tunes in most weeks. She's just, I can't even tell you how kind and supportive she is, but she's also an inspiration. Michelle Redfern, she's the founder of Advancing Women in Business and Sport. She's also known as the Sweary Feminist.
Oh, my God. I'm obsessed. Can I say fucking obsessed?
Fucking obsessed. Let me say,
I love it. I love it that you swear more than me, Nelly. Merry Feministmas.
Yes. Merry
lady.
Feministmas to you, Michelle.
And I
Michelle.
was just going, the Christmas slug, I know a few of them.
Yeah. I mean, this is my opportunity to say thank you to you publicly
Yes.
for being a devoted Broad Radio listener and also to hear exactly why that might be. Because, you know, I don't mean to make it about us, but I kind of need to as a startup founder.
Well, you so should make it about you. It's your fucking show, so
Correct.
you can do what you like. So why do I love Broad Radio? Well, Joe, I feel like I've known you. You've been in my ears for a long, long time. You were on breakfast radio when I first moved to Melbourne, and it was just so nice to hear a woman's voice in amongst, because I do a lot of work in sport, and you listen to a lot of sport, and you listen to a lot of bloody men. So I found you to be this funny, irreverent person in my ears. And then when I found out that you were going to start your own radio station for women, for women by women, it resonated with me because that's my entire life is really trying to support women to reach their full potential. And I thought, wow, this is really great. What I really like is your intersectional approach to all of your co-hosts. So you have people, women and other people who, well, not men basically, but you have
we do have men sometimes.
You have women. Yeah, I know. You have women of colour, you have First Nations women, you have gay women, there's just so much to love about the fact that you've got 52% of the world represented beautifully on your show, which is really important because women are just not one homogenous group. And I think you represent that really, really well.
I totally agree. And I think actually where we started this conversation, Michelle, is the idea of sort of Joe going, I don't want to make it about us. But I actually think it's really important at moments like this to acknowledge what you have done, Joe, is done that intersectionality consciously and deliberately. You've also put your own time and money into a venture that disrupts the mainstream. Like we know for sure, even in 2022, that the media is in no way reflective of the diversity of the community. And you actually take the bloody bow. Like there's enough people knocking women down in this space. So when you get a compliment from Michelle, and I'm schooling you now, you say thank you very much, Michelle.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
You're welcome, Joe.
Thank you very much, Nelly.
It's a remarkable thing to see.
Well said, Nelly.
You know this, Michelle, from your work in sport and business as well. Like the amount of work, and not just hours, but emotional, intellectual energy that goes into a startup like this in a really contested space. You wouldn't believe. You'd have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, and I have the great fortune to hang out with a lot of really great women, and having started 3-4 of my own enterprises now, it's a lot of hard work, and I guess because of the work I do, which is around gender equality, particularly workplace gender equality, I do still see women doing a lot of the heavy lifting. It's this there's this saying that the burden of inclusion is more often than not placed on those who are excluded. So I like the fact that you've taken that and run with it, Joe, but you've not just thought about your own needs and wants, you've thought so much more broadly about who women are and what they need. And certainly for me, as a woman in her fuck it 50s, I am really, I love that I can swear on here. I love the fact that there's shows that deal to what I'm interested in.
Yeah, correct.
And there's content that makes me think more deeply about stuff, which is actually how humans evolve into better versions of themselves. We get exposed to different concepts, we listen, we learn, and then we go, okay, I could do that. I could think about that, or I could be like that. And your show, and I can't wait till it's on all the time. Your show really does help do that, but in a fun.
Well, that's amazing, and you'll all make the promo. But
no, I'm picking you up on this, right? This is exactly, even empowered feminist women of our age are given a fucking compliment and undermine it with a joke. Thank you, Michelle. Your feedback's appreciated.
Your feedback is very much appreciated. Michelle, can I ask you?
You are in school today.
I really am. As a sweary feminist, though, can I ask you, are you sweary at this time of year? What does the festive season make you feel? Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I actually said to my wife, I was having a bit of a grumble. She is very Christmassy. And because I had many years as a wife of a bloke and mother of 2 small people who are now very big people, I kind of really got over Christmas, so I become a bit of a Grinch. However, Rhonda, my beautiful wife, has said, I want beautiful Christmas this year. I know, all right, then, whatever. And she does our house, blah, blah, blah. But she also works in the construction industry, and I've got to say, she has just created the most amazing event for her business. We're going on Wednesday night, the Christmas party, and it is simply amazing because she has spent so much time on it. But I did have a grumble on Sunday. I walked up the stairs and I said, it's fucking Christmas. Bloody men, it's just like weddings. They just have to fucking turn up.
It's true.
And she went, And I said, you've done a great job, but no one will appreciate it. So I do get a bit grumpy because I think gender inequality very much comes to the fore here. And I kind of get a bit over the emotional labour term. I think there's labour. There is just shit to get done, and it is still largely the domain. Well, it is the domain of women. 77% of the unpaid labour in the world is still done by women. Let's just face it: cooking, cleaning, caring. So Christmas, I think, exacerbates that. In saying that, it also is nice to reflect on some nice stuff. And I'm just thinking about you grooving on down to the Christmas carols, Nelly. My children, who won't be watching, but I'm going to send the link to them, they will know, oh, God, it's time for Mum to crack out Boney M's Christmas album.
Nice.
That is my favourite.
Love it.
So you're trying to be Grinchy, but you can't quite pull it off.
I can't quite.
You can't
so
quite. There's too much joy.
A little bit inauthentic.
Yeah, but at the end of the day too, because it is so much easier to be joyful. At the end of it's so,
Absolutely.
it just, makes you feel great. So, Michelle, we have to push on. We have an amazingly full show, but I'm just so grateful to you. Thank you so much for joining us and for your support. And I can't wait to do more of this, talking with you, in 2023.
And can I say thumbs up to Rhonda? Construction plus Christmas plus wife, we're winning.
Yeah, and hard to maintain wife, so high maintenance. So, Joe and Nelly, I've got a question for you. I know we're out of time. What's your Christmas wish and what's your wish for 2023? Because you are leaders to so many women that you probably don't even know about, and it would be really good to hear what you're hopeful about for 2023.
Can we take that on notice for a minute?
Yes, you may.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm going to have
I want to ponder that because there's many.
Yeah.
But thank you. That's a very kind thing to say. Thank you.
Keep up the great
Michelle.
work, Broads. I love you. Love you.
Love
Off
you
you
too.
fuck, mate. Off you fuck.
Now we've got Shelley Ware, one of Broad Radio's co-hosts, who I just adore, and we're so lucky to have her as well because she's super busy.
Yeah.
And she's joining us now live from Federation Square to really evidence the fact that she's busy. Hi, Shell.
Hey, Shelley.
Hi, gorgeous creatures. Yes, I'm at Miramar. I've snuck down here because it was actually a little bit noisy up there, and now I've got a dog, I've got some people, so we might get some real life, entertainment here.
What are you doing there?
So I've worked with Culture is Life, and I'm finishing up in a couple of days, but we've got our fellowship, so it's just winding up the year with I think it's like 9 amazing young adults and helping them be future leaders within the Aboriginal community.
Shelley, it's just such a shame that you don't do anything worthy with your time.
I know, I've really got to work on myself.
I mean, if you could put in some effort in 2023, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, I'll get on to it.
So let me ask you, Shelley, have you got any reflections on how this year has been for you, or how you get through December, or what you're looking forward to in 23? There's like a lot of questions there. I'm leaving it to you.
Amazing questions.
Well, I'll leave you to choose which question you wish to answer.
I think what's amazing about 2022 is my camera roll. I was looking for a photograph the other day, and I was streaming through and thinking, have I done all of this in 2022?
Yeah.
So, when you actually stop and reflect on what you've achieved in a year, it's really special. And thankfully, we have our camera rolls and our phones to help us do that. So
because none of us have a very good memory anymore. So it's just like,
if I can go, if I can be Dr. Phil for a moment, I actually think, because let's be honest, it can be a really brutal time of the year for a lot of people, and I wonder if we actually take the time, allocate yourself an hour to just sit with yourself and go through your camera roll. And I reckon even in the hard times, you have a time to see. Like actually time to reflect on the year rather than just the most recent thing that happened or just the hard thing that happened. It could actually be really helpful.
Yeah, 100%. It does make you stop, and it does make you pause on the beauty that is actually in your life as well. And we do have a lot of hard times. There are ups and downs in everyone's life, but taking that time to reflect on the beautiful helps you through those hard times for sure.
Was there a moment, one of the photos or videos, that you stopped and went, yes, that was a really special moment? One of those moments that's perhaps more private rather than one you'd put on Insta and go, hey, I was at this opening.
Oh, this is true. It's probably the fact that my son is now taller than me, and I've gone from looking down into his beautiful eyes to looking up. So that's been really special this year to see him finally have his growth spurt and, feel like he can look at everyone else equally too. So he's been little for a really long time, and just to see him grow into this beautiful, tall, gorgeous young man has been really special.
Don't you think every time I hear Shelley talk about her son, and even in your social media presence, but especially in person or in this kind of context, like the way you talk about your son's really special. Like that you obviously have a very strong bond with him, and we don't, I don't know, we hide as Australians. I think we're a little bit sort of sheepish about showing that kind of connection and emotion, and I just love that you do it.
But also, you always talk about him as far as he's got such potential for you. You can just see what is inside him.
I sure can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the way that I look at all children. All children have a beautiful potential to be whatever they want to be, and we get the gift of helping them be that. So I feel really blessed that Taj has chosen me to be his mum, and I'm trying my best to be a good mum for him, as you guys are.
Oh my God! I'm gonna cry.
So
what's Christmas look like for you, Shell?
Well, I did something really different this year. I actually took a week's holidays last week. So I'm ready to rock and roll.
And that's a good tip. That's a good tip. A week off in December.
A week off in December. All presents are purchased. I had lunch with some of my beautifulest friends in the world, and I did some dinners, and I just got to enjoy December for the first time in a really long time. And I feel like I'm it feels like Christmas could be tomorrow and I'd be ready to go. I feel really fresh. And I've been wrapping a present and a couple of presents a night, so I don't have that midnight just crying over a sore back and, wrapping thousands of presents and taking all the joy out of it. So I've taken my time, and I think I've learnt that this year too, to take my time, enjoy every moment, and, just take it all in.
Beautiful. I tell you what, that is the key. Like, the only reason we become, running down the street hysterical and saying fuck you all is because we try to do too much. But if you're actually setting a boundary, then you can
too much in a small space when you're running on empty. Like if most of us run all of December and then wonder why Christmas Day people fall apart and start fighting with Uncle Barry. It's like if you'd had a week off and you're in your best headspace, you'd probably approach the day very differently.
Yeah. Love it,
Shell. Maybe you could put up with Uncle Barry shit.
Probably not in my case, but there's a better chance.
There's a better chance for sure.
You're at least delaying it.
I might be slightly more gracious for the morning.
Yeah. Shelley, as always, it's a delight to see you, and thank you so much every time you join us on Broad Radio. We love it so much, and we'll have you. We'll see you hopefully a little more next year on Broad Radio.
Yes, you will see me a little bit more next year, and I'm looking forward to it.
Merry Christmas,
Take care, everyone,
Shell.
and Merry Christmas.
You too, darling. Well, I must say we are working Triana hard over there. She is running the show on that side of the camera.
Little duck feet under the water.
Absolutely. Yep. And she's we're moving guests in and out, and what a machine she is.
And
Thank
you and I just swanning around at the top going,
yes. Who's next?
Merry Christmas.
Well, I tell you what is next. This is a really important conversation I'm very passionate about. There is a tendency for us all, I think, at this time of year to assume that every person's experience of this festive season is the same.
Yeah, no.
But of course it's not.
No, mate.
And I think it's really important that we make our celebrations as accessible and inclusive as possible. But what does that look like? And how do we do that?
What do we think about? Yeah.
To help us do that, we are joined by writer, broadcaster and advocate Flic Manning. Hi there, Flic.
Hi, Flic.
Hello, Broads. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the runaway train that is this show. Although we're holding it together quite nicely.
Yeah, it's
good. It's not that loose at all right now.
No.
I like it.
Flic, you have been schooling me in recent weeks around accessibility and this particular time of year. And I've always sort of felt like I'm fairly across it, but I think that I was like, you know what? We need to have this conversation really clearly and set out some points for all of us to follow. Firstly, can you explain to us what is the challenge for many people in our community at this time of year?
Sure. First of all, Joe and Lily, thank you so much for having me on. It's so important and special that we have our voices represented, and it's so beautiful that you actually are taking such an interest and really being genuine about it. So thank you so much for that. Secondly, yeah, there are so many concerns at this time of year for people like myself, whether you've got invisible illnesses like myself or more visible disabilities. COVID alone is a massive safety concern. So that's bringing a lot of people into this time of year with a heightened level of stress about their safety and well-being. But our experience of this time of year can just be fraught with complication anyway, COVID aside, because many people just really don't understand what the experience or the lived experience of having a chronic illness or a disability is actually like. There's a lot of societal pressures and family pressures that often go into these sorts of events and times of the year that really don't allow for us to function very well. And it means that we are often sort of pretending, putting on a brave face, putting up with symptoms and things like that we wouldn't normally put up with in order to try and participate in events. And it often actually leaves us in a really precarious position coming into the next year because we're so burnt out, having symptom flares and all sorts of things. Also, we're under different kinds of financial pressure. It's not easy when you have a chronic illness or a disability to then have to go and spend money on presents and put yourself through these kinds of situations. It's very complex.
Absolutely. Well, as you know, Flic, my oldest daughter has a long-term chronic health condition, and one of the things that I find that I'm so grateful for in terms of inclusion is those friends who know, understand, believe, for a start, and then ask me and make suggestions. So, for example, we're having a barbecue. How long do you think is reasonable at the moment for your daughter to stay? You know, so rather than us going and having to go, oh, we actually have to leave before dessert, can we make, you know, they do the emotional labour. And I don't expect that of everybody, but geez, it makes a big difference to both me and her to not have to be sort of, sometimes, and I'm sure you get this all the time, you feel like you're at the begging bowl a little bit, like please understand, please understand. And if they come to you with that understanding, oh my Lord, what a relief.
Truly, and I'm so glad that you have people in your life that do that for you. And it's honestly, it's a very sadly rare situation. A lot of people just don't have that kind of support. And, I always think of this acronym. It's very, very simple. It's the word all, because we should all be included. It's ask, listen, and learn. So all you've really got to do is ask people about what their accessibility needs are and, genuinely ask. It doesn't mean you need to know all of their medical conditions. That's not what you're asking about. You're just asking, what can we do to make you feel safe and comfortable in the environment so that you can be included? Listen, meaning actively listen. Believe people when they tell you what it is that they need without question, and learn how to apply it and learn from the mistakes that you may inevitably make as you learn to reinforce these things until they actually become normal. So ask, listen, and learn. And trust me, we have a lot to offer. We would love to be included. We're a very valuable part of the community. We're all richer when we're brought in it together. And it's such a wonderful thing when we do see that beautiful allyship from able-bodied people. And I hope we see a lot of that this year in particular.
You know, the thing is too, I mean, to me, this is a philosophy that you should have for everyone, right?
Correct.
Like, I believe, and this was a profound moment for me years ago when a therapist said to me, every person in the world is doing their best. And I was like, what? And then I went, oh my God, everyone is. And if you go through life sort of assuming that and looking at the people who you go, oh, why can't they come and do this? Or why can't? And then you go, well, they're doing their best, right? Yeah. And I'm doing my best. But when you're asking a question of someone, how can I have you involved in this event? Why wouldn't you believe what their boundaries are?
Yeah, but
I don't understand why you wouldn't believe that.
Do you know why they don't believe it? And I'm sure Flic will absolutely testify to this. In my daughter's case, I'm sure Flic's case, because they present as well. You know, when you have invisible conditions, you see the best of the person. If my daughter's going to go to a party, it's because she would have had days off school, she would have avoided other things, she would have saved up all her energy, and she'll arrive and she'll be so thrilled to be there that you'll see the absolute best, happiest version of her, which is brilliant. But it also means there's a massive disconnect between that and how people see her health. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
They can't reconcile the two.
Yeah, I can see
And
that.
look, that's rampant everywhere, whether it's the health system, whether it's in school, whether it's in workplaces, and even with your own family. I mean, it's people can only understand so much, but very often we undervalue lived experience, and we don't allow that to have a seat at the table. So I think, again, this year it's about asking those questions, listening and learning, and working out how to actually, apply that information, because really, when it comes to accessibility, so many people are already practicing it in some way, shape or form. It's just that the things that apply more to people with chronic illnesses and disabilities haven't been reinforced enough that they have become normalised. So that's really all we're really sort of saying to people is just reinforce it enough that it becomes normal, and eventually it will be so easy that you won't even have to do any extra thought about actually including us, and then you'll have the benefit of our lived experience, our creativity, our compassion, all the things that we bring to the table, which is currently being excluded.
And it's the right thing to do.
It is the right. It's the right thing to do, but also
we're humans.
Yeah,
it is absolutely the right thing to do. But also, as you're saying, Flic, it's that diversity of stories and experience that you're richer for. Like, how awesome.
Do you know what? I wonder if part of it is, and it applies to all the things we've talked about this morning, but especially in this space, we have some kind of Hollywood version of what Christmas Day looks like. So if, for example, someone says, well, I can come for the entree, but I've only got an hour's worth of spoons or energy in me and then I need to leave, you will quite often, even from family, get pushback to that. Like, well, why don't you just push through? Why can't, because it ruins their sense of how the day should be. We've got to let that go.
Totally.
And rewrite the day.
Yeah. And I think it's also we inadvertently act as a reminder for people that disability and chronic illness and COVID and all of these things exist in the world.
Present.
And it highlights people's internalized ableism that they have, and it makes them feel very uncomfortable. So the easiest way sometimes for them to deal with that is to pretend and to sort of project that back on the person that is having that lived experience without actually asking them what their lived experience is. So some of the ways that we can just make it more accessible is, have online events. We should be so practiced at this with having had a couple of years of lockdowns. We need to continue with that. The lay of the land looks like we still have a long way to go. So we need to make sure those events are accessible. Quiet zones, Nelly, I know that we brought this up before, but they are fabulous. They're fabulous for all people, but people with neurodivergence or chronic illnesses and disabilities, just having somewhere you can go for 15 minutes to take the stimulation down. Things like taking breaks between things. We don't have to have 5-hour events or 10-hour events, It can be an hour and take a 10-minute break or whatever it is that you need. Food allergies, make sure that you actually listen to them, take them seriously. It's all that kind of stuff. And it's actually really, really simple. It's just, again, it's asking the question, it's listening to the answer, and it's learning how to apply it. And just recognizing that as an able-bodied person, you have a privilege of full health and of choice that so many of us don't have. So use it wisely and bring us to that table. We so want to be with you. We have so much love for our families and our friends and our colleagues, and we want to be included. And I think there are so many easy ways to do that. We just have to reinforce it until it becomes normal.
And listen.
Yeah.
And guess what? It could be any of us at any time.
Of course.
Yes.
Any of us at any time.
Yeah.
If you think this is nothing to do with you, then you're deluded.
That's what most of our community probably thought until they went to bed one day and woke up the next day with a chronic illness. So you're absolutely spot on.
Yeah. I mean, in the interest of asking the question and listening, we've got a little Christmas do this week for our team, and I did invite Flic to come along, and she said, I'm not able to come. And I was like, well, how can I, because this isn't an event, right? If I was running a webinar, if I was running a conference, whatever, then it's obvious to me how you could stream that. But when it's just drinks on a balcony, right, I'm like, how can I actually include you, Flic? Because to me, a stream of that sounds really boring for you, but just like, how do I make this happen in a way that I can include you? So give me some pointers there, Flic.
Sure. So again, just remembering that, first of all is asking the person how they want to be included and in what way is going to suit them. So that's kind of the first point of call. Certainly when you're getting used to doing it and in the process of reinforcing it till it becomes normalized, there is going to be a little bit of additional planning that you're probably not used to having to do. So it's just, again, that's the part of that learning aspect of it. But it's really just sort of things like if you're doing a drinks event and stuff, well, maybe you just sort of say to everyone that is attending in person, hey, for the first half an hour, we're going to be handing around this iPad, or we're going to have this laptop set over here. We've got some people tuning in that, they can't physically be involved, but we're going to bring them into that stream. I've been involved in a drinks before where someone actually very kindly sent me a little non-alcoholic champagne that popped up during the day, so that then I could actually sort of raise a glass and have a little toast with people for the first half an hour. I got a chance to interact and chat with people. And then when I felt comfortable, I dropped off the stream and allowed people to continue on. It's those kinds of things, and just thinking about, hey, if it's an event for someone's birthday and you want them to be included in the blowing out of the candles, or there's some kind of big gift being given, time those things according to when you can include the person in the online stream. Those things are relatively simple to do, but again, it's that ask, listen and learn. You just got to apply that to everything.
And can I just say, in this space and in this particular, because sometimes I think we need to talk in specific examples. In this case, and, Michelle mentioned how much unpaid carer work women do. I'm one of those people. You make that accessible for Flic, it means it's accessible for me too, because I can't come to the event either because of my daughter's health needs. So once you actually start asking the question, you're including a whole range of people who are just used to being left out. Honestly. Yeah. And I think maybe in this case, I don't know, you're probably going to do a speech. Stream us in at the speech.
I wasn't planning on a speech.
Well, I want one.
Listen and learn.
Well, I don't often have to be asked twice to give a speech.
Say, geez, as if you need to be asked twice to talk.
Well, it's just, I think I'm really, really pleased that we connected. I should mention that actually Flic is a guest on a podcast, an episode of Lay Down the Law, which we have created this series for in conjunction with Morris Blackburn Lawyers. And we've done an episode around mental health at this time of the year and beyond. And Flic is a guest on that particular episode, which is going to be released this week. So check that out.
Oh, brilliant.
And she brings so much more information around mental health and how we can kind of really engage with our health this time of year, and not just in the holidays. And also, Flic, you've got your little memoir. I don't mean little, as in that's very reductive for me to say. But you've got your memoir there, Living Human, which we can purchase online as well. Yes.
Here it is on the screen, ladies and gentlemen.
It's fabulous.
Yes. I hope that it will be, a nice little holiday gift for people that, whether they're experiencing invisible illness in that first-hand way, or whether there's somebody in their family, or you just want to understand a bit more about the world. It's sort of the things that I've learned, the lessons I've learned, and also some tips and tricks on your well-being, which are some of the value and skill that people like myself inherently learn and can make the whole world actually a little bit more well. So hopefully that's a good one. I also have the audiobook will be coming out early next year.
And that basic principle that, darling Stella Young and many other advocates have taught us, the nothing about us without us. Like, we need to hear 100%. Directly from people like you with lived experience, and then that helps us all be more thoughtful and inclusive.
Yep. Amazing.
Yeah.
Flic, thank you so much. I'm just, I'm learning so much, and I'm loving what I'm learning. So thank you.
Thank you to being open to the learning, asking the great questions, and thank you for having people like myself represented on Broad Radio. It really does mean a lot to our community. You have our hearts for that. Trust me, there's a fifth of the population that will be sitting here going, yes, someone that listens to us. So we appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
Well, amazing. You have a great Christmas.
Good on you, Flic.
You too. Thank you so much.
See ya.
My workout routine comes with me wherever I go, and so does Bondi Protein. It gives me the post-workout nutrients I need. Fuel your body with Australian-made Bondi Protein.
Broad Radio. Talking inspo we love, info we need, and sharing more of us. Watch and listen live every Tuesday 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time at broadradio.com.au, or find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and LinkedIn at Broad Radio Oz. Talk to us live. Call on 1300 8 Broad. Catch up on demand anytime, anywhere, every time, everywhere. On the train, we'll be here. 2 a.m. existential crisis? We've got you covered. Broad Radio. Here for more.
We're doing pretty well with the loose show. I'm enjoying it so much.
You've really taken that to heart, haven't you?
I have. I'm owning it. And
Look, it's December.
Yeah,
December. Like you get through.
But I'm also, I think for me that's my number one key to getting through December is just to roll with it,
freewheel
it, and just if things fall over, you laugh and just keep moving.
Correct.
Otherwise, if you punish yourself, oh my gosh, the struggle is in the struggle.
If you burn the turkey, don't eat it.
Yeah, that's it. So to get some tips on how to get through December, it's very exciting for me to welcome one of our other Broad Radio co-hosts, Serpil Senelmis. Hi there, Serpil.
Hello.
Hey, Serpil.
Hello.
It's so lovely to see you, Serpil. We've enjoyed having you on the show periodically this year. I was looking back actually at what 2021 was and 2022, and you were a new addition this year, which was a great joy to me.
I was. I've loved being on the show. And can I just say the chat that you just had with Flic really resonated, because this time of the year actually fills me with dread and anxiety because, I am that person who has a chronic condition and I have to manage my energy. And over the years I've had to I've masked it, but then over the years I've learnt to say, actually, I can't do that. I can't commit to that, or I'll only come as you were saying, Nelly, for an hour. I'll chunk it up, or I have to make a priority and say, you know what, I've got 6 things to do. I can only choose one. Which one's the one that I really want to do? So that really resonated for me because. It can be just a lot this time of the year. And I've thought about the sort of things that you could do to sort of get through. Have
you got some tips for us?
Oh, yeah, she's got tips and tricks.
I've got some tips. The biggest one, I reckon, this sounds silly, but denial. Like, it's time, as you were saying at the beginning of the show, it's a fluid concept, right? Yeah. So pretend it's not December. Pretend it's November. There, problem solved. So there you go. Take the concept of time away.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
It's not happening. Breathe in and out this mantra, a well-known mantra. So at this time of the year, everyone's everything yesterday, right? So I think repeat to yourself, your emergency is not my priority. Because just because they lack planning, why should they set your world on fire?
Oh, I love this. Hang on. I need to, someone write that down. I haven't got a pen.
Your emergency is not my priority.
Yes.
Love it. Love it.
I reckon don't buy stuff, because buying stuff means you have to physically get out there, search for, oh God, what does, Uncle Bill want? What does Auntie Judy want? Or whatever. And it takes ages to work out, well, what do they actually want?
Yes.
And then you have to physically bring them home and then physically wrap them. As Shelley was saying, your back gets sore and you get miserable and you hate the whole process. Over the past 3 years, we've missed out on experiences. Why not give someone an experience? Why not flick them some movie passes or a theatre seat or a pass to the local roller skating rink?
I tell you what, I love experiences too. And I just gave my husband for his birthday a visit to a smash room.
Oh, I would love to do that.
Smash room.
Yes.
Smash plates.
Where you get your rage out.
And you got big sledgehammers and we got one where you can smash up a TV.
Yes, love.
How good's that?
My
you
God.
can throw
if he wants to
axes
take
too.
someone with him, count me in.
Serpil, can I tell you something that's going to make you cry though? So I love, you may have heard, I love Christmas. I love all of the camp hoo-ha that comes along with it. I have also tried to go to experiences, but even with experiences, I got a little voucher the other day for my daughter's carer who I couldn't live without. And I put it in a takeaway container and wrapped it and put a ribbon around it. So I was still wrapping.
It was still wrapping.
It's still wrapping.
Have you got more tips for us?
It's tiny. I do. I reckon this doesn't apply to everyone, but I like to use culture as an excuse. So when it's Eid, I often use the fact that my husband's a whitey as an excuse.
That's hilarious.
To say I've forgotten, the Eid festivities. So my other side of the family, who actually are, practicing Muslims or just cultural Muslims, invite you to these gatherings. So if I forget the excuse is my husband. So I reckon I can use a similar script for Christmas.
Oh yeah, totally.
And plead ignorance around the traditions. So I think, you know, if I put up the Christmas tree on Christmas Eve, no judgment, please.
That's right.
I can use an excuse. So use culture as an excuse. So that's my gift to anyone who comes from a non-Christian background, who's in a mixed marriage. Just use culture as an excuse, and then you can be late to everything.
Can I say just quietly, don't do that if you're not from that culture.
No.
You know.
Could I say though, we don't practice it, and they'll be like, why? And I'm like, because I'm just really lazy.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with culture.
I just don't like Mariah Carey.
I mean, you can actually, I think it's quite fair to say, why should I know about all the Christmas traditions and not know what to do? I mean, I still don't know when the tree's supposed to go up because it's not a big deal in my life.
Whenever you want.
Yeah. Serpil, this is why I have loved having you as an addition on Broad Radio, because you bring so many different perspectives and with a beautiful light touch as well. Very quickly, what's 2023? Have you got a wish for it? Because Michelle Redfern asked us.
Yeah.
Just before we got to get to, we've got one more listener to get to, but have you got a wish?
What I wish for 2023 would be for the rain to stop in Melbourne so that we can have some beach time. Yeah. I think soaking up some sun would be so good.
That's a nice little simple wish.
Yeah.
Granted.
Yeah. Put it out to the universe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Serpil, thank you so much for all of your beautiful work with Broad Radio and beyond. You do amazing things podcasting as well. So, and we'll see you in 2023.
And see you on Thursday.
Yeah,
Happy
you will.
New Year.
Yeah. Everybody's going to go, I'm not invited to this.
Yeah.
As we've said all along, we would not have Broad Radio without our amazing listeners. And another one who has been with us right from the beginning is Stacey Williams. Hi there, Stacey.
Hello. How are you?
Hey, Stacey. We're good.
Stacey, you also come from an incredibly interesting world in which you are supporting women. You're in the world of sort of, what would I say, it's about recognition of women in a more formal sense. Can you give us a sense of what that means?
Yeah, so I think one of the reasons that I was drawn to your show from the beginning was just the shared stories that women were telling. And like Flic has said this morning, it's about hearing from women and their lived experiences. So being in a position that I was in with recognition is hearing these stories and having them on the public record and actually recognising these women through the Australian Honours System. So a lot of the work that I've been doing is for Victoria to try and see that we can get gender parity within the Honours System and see the same amount of women recognised as men for these awards.
Isn't that such important work?
I'm struck by two things. One, how important it is and how important it is to acknowledge, you know, we have to continue to keep talking about the contribution that women make to society. And then on the other hand, in 2022, I go, how have we not got parity here? How is this possible in 2022 that we're still going, you know, women contribute so much to the world, and how is it possible that we're not fitty-fitty?
I think it's a couple of reasons, and I did when we first started working on this, it came to light that, and I think, Nelly, you've also touched on this with Joe actually accepting praise about the show, is that it's not natural for women to go and do something to be recognised for doing that thing. And I think that's something that we need to change, and I think that's part of the storytelling is let's start lifting these women up. Let's start sharing their stories so then it becomes normal and natural and quite accepted by women and men that we hear about these women's stories and lift women up. Because if we don't share these stories with each other or on platforms such as Broad Radio, then these women will just go unrecognised and unnoticed.
I think too it's about finding the time to nominate. And I have loved the work that the Office for Women in Victoria have done around making that process accessible as well, because traditionally it's been quite an onerous job to nominate, and women don't have the time to nominate women because we're busy being all the carers and everything. So I'm really enjoying the work that's been done in that space as well, Stacey.
Yeah, it's fantastic that we've been given that opportunity. So the Recognition Matters campaign sits within the Department of Premier and Cabinet. So it's really great to see the work being done by that. But it was the co-design workshop that we did in 2019 that actually produced these great tools. So the Word document to help you with the nomination process. And yeah, traditionally it is women nominating women, and yes, bearing the load of that, again, unpaid work, and it is quite time, it takes a lot of time to do a nomination, and you are relying on other references and other people to support that nomination. But I've been doing this for a while now with the nomination process, and I think the most painstakingly hard sort of time is just waiting for that nomination once you've submitted it to then seeing an outcome. So I think maybe that's off-putting to some people, but I think the nomination process, please just try it. It's very easy, and I think the more people, men and women, and those that don't associate with either, should look at nominating someone. Yeah, for consideration.
And I wonder, Stacey, I think it's an opportunity when you're thinking about any kind of awards system, and particularly in this context, it's an opportunity to think about how much of the contribution women make to society is just assumed and invisible. It's assumed that, you know, even when we talk about Christmas, it is invisible, the amount of work that goes into making that quote unquote magical day. Let's make it visible. When you're actually thinking about, it doesn't have to be, you know, no disrespect to a firefighter, but a firefighter running into a house, saving a child from a burning house. There's other ways to contribute. And many of the ways that women contribute are quiet and unseen.
That's right. Yeah. And they are like, you know, I have different people reach out to me, and they say that a local woman within their community has done such great work. Should we consider nominating her?
Yes.
And so I talk through those nominations, and sometimes maybe it isn't an appropriate platform, but there are other award programs out there that, you know, local councils look after.
Yep.
As Joe mentioned, there's the Victorian Honour Roll of Women that you can nominate women for, or those that identify as being a woman. So there's plenty of opportunities to recognise a woman. It doesn't need to be necessarily at the Australian Honours level. It can be within a local council award program. Yeah, but just recognise her.
Yeah, yes, acknowledge the work.
Well, Stacey, I'm recognising you.
Yes,
Thank you
indeed.
so much for all the work you do in that space, but also thanks for joining us on Broad Radio. It's just, I cannot tell you how encouraging and heartening it is to us, not just me, but the whole team. And there's like women back there keeping this crazy train on the tracks.
Yeah.
To be able to look up and see on Facebook and YouTube your name, and you know there are others' name. I can tell you, Eche and Michelle, Katrina and Donna, and you know there's people who have been commenting throughout the show today as well. It is just heartening to see it. So thank you so much, Stacey.
No, thank you, Joe and Nelly. It's just such a wonderful show, and keep doing what you're doing. And celebrate Christmas however you want.
However you want. Good on you,
Love
Stacey.
it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stacey. We'll see you in 2023.
See you.
See you.
So I do need to share that there's been a little bit of chit-chat about you on the socials today, whereas Michelle is saying Nelly is on fire today. And then Donna says to Michelle, I agree, Nelly deserves some pre-lunch eggnog.
Oh, I could definitely go some pre-lunch eggnog.
Stat, bring it here now.
Someone.
Anyone?
In
bring
fact,
us some
is it
eggnog.
too early for a gin and soda? It's 9:56.
Let's ask our next. Well, she returns. She started the show, and now she's going to take us back to the Christmas spirit. Is it too early for a gin and soda there, Jude Perl?
No, not here in Airport West where I am. Let's
Yeah, it looks like 11 p.m. Are you in a different time zone?
It's
every
bring it
day.
out.
Oh, my God.
The overall message seems to be like, you do you. So
Yeah.
why not? Bring it out.
Well, actually, on that note, I think we have to answer the question, don't we? Are we going to do it now?
Oh,
Answer
sure.
Michelle's question.
Yes.
So
what do we wish for
what
in
do we wish for in
2023?
2023? Have you got your answer?
I wish for...
Get ready, Jude. We'll be asking you.
You know, I guess all I ever want is for people to realise that they themselves are enough. And we spend...
Joe.
No, because that's kind of what my purpose is with Broad Radio is.
Yeah.
But I say that to myself as well. We spend so much time jumping through hoops and trying to fulfil expectations and meeting that deadline and, you know, making sure that we put the right food on the table for and all these things. And a lot of it is because of the voice in our head that tells us that's not enough. What we did today wasn't enough. We've got to keep doing more. And I don't want that anymore. I want everyone to go, today I did enough. This moment I'm doing enough. And here I am enough.
Yes.
Enough.
Yes, you are more than enough. Yeah, I love that. That's a bit, and that might be a nice little, sometimes a little mantra can help you get through these sort of moments. I think mine is, if I was going to have a mantra, and it's a little bit based on what Jude said, it's like rip up the script. You know, as the regular listeners will know, I went through quote unquote COVID divorce, as many people did. So last Christmas was my first Christmas without, you know, my family unit intact. And I dreaded it. Absolutely was dreading it. Turns out it wasn't anywhere near as bad as what I'd made it in my mind. And now I realise if you rip up the script and go, I'm going to have this day and every other day of my life how I want it and how the people that I love want it without fear of judgment, and that's a bit of the fuck it, I'm 50.
Yes.
Your life is just so much better. So this Christmas, and this I think will make you smile and laugh, this Christmas we're having Christmas Day with myself, my ex-husband, my new girlfriend, her ex-husband, his girlfriend, and all our children.
That's the best.
Right? And I am looking forward to it.
I want to be there.
Yeah. You can come.
That's just the best. What a beautiful thing. It's rip up the script. It's so true.
Script. It's not my script. I didn't write it.
And, you know, it's that thing that everyone says, that beautiful piece of writing by the nurse who worked in palliative care. I'm sure a lot of people. Oh, God, it went around a few years ago, you know, the number one regrets of the dying. And the number one was that I lived another person's life.
Live for somebody else, yeah. No
more.
Sister. No more.
No more. What about you, Jude? What's the next 12 months hold for you, and what do you hope for?
Well, I've this year I've done a couple of shows with a band, and doing that has made me realise how much I missed being on stage with other people. I love performing solo. It's wonderful. And then sort of the bigger picture of that, I was like, I miss just community stuff. I think the last couple of years especially has obviously made that kind of thing harder. So I just want to do more community connecting things, especially with other musicians and other people that love singing and, you know, that kind of stuff.
It is one of the great things about being good at music is that you can just form this connection with people. You are going to sing us a song. Now, don't go away if you are listening live, because I know usually we end at 10-ish. Sometimes 10:05.
But it's Christmas.
It's Christmas. And after Jude sings this song, then we're going to bring the whole Broad Radio team in, and one by one you're going to meet them and you're going to hear what their tips are for the next holiday period, what you might want to do over, I don't know, whatever. It's going to be chaos, but I want you to meet them because they're amazing. But Jude, you're going to sing us a song.
Yes, and I think it's actually quite related to a lot of what you've been talking about today. It's just that, you know, not everybody celebrates Christmas. You know, I actually don't celebrate Christmas, which is, I know, very alarming. You'll find out why. So this is kind of a song for people that maybe didn't grow up celebrating Christmas, but love it as much as I do.
It's not alarming, it's confusing with the jumper and the and the tree, but not alarming.
Who is she?
Alert. Alert.
Christmas tree, I've always wanted my own Christmas tree. It was on my list, but I'm Jewish, so I never got to have a Christmas tree. But this year, for the very first time, I'm gonna have my own Christmas tree. Me and my Christmas tree. She is being really cool about the fact that I am abnormally excited about a $20 Christmas tree that we bought from Spotlight. I didn't know that you could buy a Christmas tree from Spotlight. But now that I think about it, it's obvious they would sell things like that, especially this time of year. Me and my boyfriend's teenage daughter making a Christmas tree. I keep making jokes about how I don't know what things are called, you know, because I'm Jewish and we never had a Christmas tree, so I don't know what things are called. Honestly, I didn't know that the things you hang from Christmas trees are called baubles. But now that I think about it, it's obvious they'd be called something like that. I always thought they were just called Christmas balls. And I think me and my boyfriend's teenage daughter are getting closer, it's true. 'Cause sometimes I show her videos that I find funny, see if she finds them funny too. But then I remember that I don't have my finger on the pulse of what Gen Z finds funny. But even if the humor is aged unkindly, she still watches the whole video and laughs politely. And my boyfriend's teenage daughter making a Christmas tree. My boyfriend filmed a time-lapse video of us making it, and so I showed my family the video of my new Christmas tree. I thought they'd find it interesting. I didn't know that my mother doesn't give a shit about Christmas trees from Spotlight. But now that I think about it, it's obvious she doesn't like anything about Christmas except for maybe watching Home Alone. And my mom said maybe Christmas trees are more exciting when you've got little kids. And I said, Mom, there's no way that me and my boyfriend are ever having kids. And my mom said, did I say anything about you and your boyfriend having kids? And I said, Mom, it's implied in the way you said it, I know what you meant. And my mom said, Jude, you're putting words into my mouth, I never said that. If you think that you don't want to have kids, well, then I guess that's your choice. And I said, Mom, I know it's hard for you to understand how I could be fulfilled without kids, but I've thought about it a lot for a long time, and this is the right decision for me. My mom said, Jude, I understand, I felt the same way when I was your age. And I do, I believe you, I believe that you think that this is what you want to do. I'm just worried that in the future you'll regret your decision that you never had kids. And also, could you please not put this conversation into your Christmas song? Me and my boyfriend's teenage daughter making a Christmas tree. Everything seems so simple when you are stringing lights, but they are hard to untangle. Once you get them on the Christmas tree, they look fucking magical. It was so much fun to make a Christmas tree with my boyfriend's teenage daughter. I just feel lucky to know her, and I would do anything to help her out. To clarify, I'm not her stepmom. Her mom and dad make an awesome parenting team, but I had a really good time making a Christmas tree. Making a Christmas tree, making a Christmas tree with my boyfriend's teenage daughter.
Woo! What?
Thank you.
Oh my God, that is epic! And might I
much to unpack.
so much, because I feel like you really nailed every relationship, family,
Yes.
and extended, and the conversation with your mother about not having children.
This is exactly, even though I have children, I have seen cousins of mine in particular sitting around the big family function and just getting, and one year, one of my cousins who will remain nameless just went, I just had a miscarriage.
Oh.
That really sorted the uncle out, I tell you that much. Like, don't ask that shit.
Wow. See, Jude, you don't need to know anything about Christmas for basically the feeling of Christmas to be.
For the intrusive questions.
That's right. Hey, thanks so much for that. And will you be celebrating Christmas in some way with your boyfriend's teenage daughter?
Of course, yeah. We've, we've already made the tree, obviously, and I usually just invite myself over to someone's house on Christmas Day, and I don't bring anything. I'm the worst guest of all, so I'll probably be doing that. But thank you for having me. It's always such a pleasure to come on Broad Radio.
You're the best.
We love it,
you
Jude.
Are.
Check out the rest.
And are you doing any shows in the near couple of months?
Nothing coming up like soonish, but probably later in next year there'll be a couple of things happening. But I'll post
we
about
can find
all
her
that
on the internet.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you all about it when it happens.
Hey, thanks, Jude. It's been awesome as
My
ever,
pleasure.
and we'll see you in 2023.
Good on you, Jude.
Thanks so much. See you later.
Bye. See ya. I have got a person sitting next to me very quietly.
Yes.
Isn't it?
waiting
Not
to be
that
spoken to.
quietly, to be fair.
No. I struggle with quiet.
And nor should she. We thought we'd just finish off the year by welcoming all of the beautiful team members that actually bring us Broad Radio.
All the
every
broads.
Week. All the broads. We would be nothing.
Nothing.
You are nothing without us.
Nothing without you. So may I present content producer Cecilia Ramsdale. Hi there,
Hello.
Seth.
Hi, Joe. Hi,
You've been with
Seth.
us right from the beginning also.
From the beginning, and that annoying voice in the middle that goes every time, everywhere.
Oh, that is you. Yes.
Yes.
You are a multi-talented voice artist, producer / content creator. You know, all of that.
All the bells and whistles.
Yeah. What's your reflection of 2022 / 23, and what should we do? Have you got a tip for us what to watch, read, see, do over the next couple of crazy holiday time?
Okay, well, my reflection is I just want to say thank you to you and to you, Nelly, and to all our broads, because it's just been such an amazing delight to work on this over the last 2 years so far. And you and I were having a chat a little while ago about how actually we think that maybe you just started Broad Radio so we could get some more
New
amazing
friends.
friends.
just to hang out.
You know, like
There's worse motivations. You know?
we're looking around and we're like, Zoe Daniel, Chick, Nelly Thomas, Chick, you know,
Shelley,
we're going through,
Ware,
you know,
Serpil.
we were just going through
Yeah.
all these women that we have connected with and who have just been so happy to say yes. I mean, of all the people we
It's
have contacted to join us on Broad Radio, and like you say, it's like the little engine that could. We've had maybe like one or two people go, nah, not for
Out
me.
of hundreds.
Out of hundreds.
And
It's-
those
But
two,
I think that is
fuck 'em.
actually dead
well,
choice.
actually, yeah. I mean, they were no loss, I gotta say.
But I think it's important, and I'm not saying this to pump my own tyres up, but I'm bloody time poor. Like the fact that I agreed to do this and want to be involved in this because I believe in it.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same with the other co-hosts. All the people that you get on are incredibly time poor, whether it's family, work, or a combination of those things. But what you're doing is important. And so you do go, yes, I will get up at 6 o'clock and drive in and do the, you know, da-da-da, because it's important and it's good content.
It's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, it's been a real joy to kind of, I guess, be at this point in our life where we're making something and having you at the helm where you're like, shit happens and we just deal with it at the time and no one loses their mind and the show goes on. So
You pivot.
You pivot. There's been a lot of
Yeah.
pivoting and a lot of sick children and all
Yeah.
of the
so many.
things. So,
Yeah.
so thank you to you, Joe. And
Thanks
in
to
terms
you,
of,
Seth.
well, thanks to all of us.
Yeah, no, but Seth works very hard behind the scenes, organising, booking guests and doing all that sort of stuff, and also the podcast and everything. So, yes, it's
She's
incredible.
the
work you
unseen
do.
magic of Christmas.
Yes.
I am, yes.
And what
sprinkled.
are we doing over the holidays?
Well,
one thing.
One thing. I'm going to try and go back and watch White Lotus again.
Oh,
because I
nice.
have just been sort
Season
of
2.
a bit here and a bit there and a bit there, and I can't watch it with the kids around because, you know, things happen. And I'm like, oh, hello, glad we weren't.
Can you show me your best, or can you show the camera your best face. You know the face.
Not Jennifer Coolidge. She's so great.
I practice for hours. I am obsessed with that woman.
Can't do it.
I hate her character.
Oh, no, but you have to love her
but
as
I
well.
want to hang out with her.
Oh, of course you do.
It's like a train wreck.
It's so weird. And then, of course, Christopher from The Sopranos is in it. And
Christopher Maltasante.
Yeah. So it's got,
stop.
and I haven't, and the beautiful Sicily, it's just all of it. But I haven't been able to watch it properly. So I'm going to go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
And I actually love it more
Evidently,
than season 1.
I need to watch the first season again because I said the other day, I really miss that beautiful, the gay guy who ran the place, and why didn't they bring him back? And my friend went, he's dead.
Died. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Whoopsie. Yes, but anyway, and also just looking forward to saying yes to less things in January. So,
saying no.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Take it easy.
Big round of applause for Cecilia
Thank
Ransdale.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Tag
you.
teaming. Thank you, love. And here we have Ro Murray, who again was right from the beginning, has been with us. She has run the show production-wise. She does marketing. She does the tech stack. That's like, backbone. Hello, Ro.
Hello, ladies.
Yeah, get on, Mike. You haven't got a headphone on, so you don't know that how you sound. But
no, I don't.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway,
yes.
assuming I'm making noise.
Yeah. Reflections. What's your plans? What can you bring us?
Oh gosh, reflections. This was one of those years where until I actually sat down and went, what happened? I had no idea what happened. So, it's been a massive year, but a really exciting year, and it really just goes to show that sometimes you just got to hang on and keep going and take the time to reflect at the end of it and go,
because you've been working all around the place, right? As you do.
Yeah. And I've finished studying at uni part-time, which I've been doing with a more than full-time workload. So it's been a massive year, but I'm really excited. I've got my little certificate hanging up on the wall.
Bravo.
And,
congrats.
Survived. So, keep holding on, everyone. Yeah.
Yes, it's most definitely a motto for us here. Keep holding on at Broad Radio. But thanks to you, Ro, we do hold on. And the amount of times I ask the dumbest of questions to Ro, and she's very patient and explains some very obvious things to me at times.
It's never a dumb question.
But especially in the space where you've got people who are in studio, also zooming in, sound quality, light, like the whole thing. Like there's a lot going on to be able to make a quality production, and you bring it all together beautifully.
Well, this live stream was basically built by Ro, and she created this look and everything. Like we'd be nothing without it. So we're very, very lucky. What are you going to be doing over the holidays? Have you got one thing that you recommend we should try, watch, listen, eat, drink?
Well,
all of it, maybe.
It's not about the snacks. I've decided it's all about pacing yourself and making it about the people. So if that means you don't make the trifle and you show up with a lint Easter bunny that you found in the back of the pantry, then do it. Yeah, pace yourself and make it about the people.
Oh, you know what? You can go. I learned this. I used to spend literally days making my kids' birthday cakes. Like I did a CAE course. It's a long story.
Amazing.
And of course, now that they're old enough, they're like, can we have one of those ice cream cakes from Woolworths?
Yeah.
And part of me goes, and the other part of me goes, 5 minutes.
Fantastic.
Done. Take one of those to Christmas lunch.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll eat it.
And luckily, the weather is such that it won't melt.
No.
Probably for about a week.
You don't need an esky.
Definitely true.
In Melbourne.
That's true. Well, Ro, thank you also for all your incredible work and commitment. I would be nothing without you and Cess and the rest of the team. High five, tag teaming over to Olivia. This is Olivia
Doesn't
Smith.
Olivia love being on camera?
It's scary. I like that.
You got to get closer to the mic.
Yeah,
because you can hear Ro, who we just said goodbye to on Triple R. So she's very much she's both sides of the microphone, and Cess as well. She's had hit podcasts and that sort of stuff. But Livy,
I'm like, where do I look?
Well, you just at us, babe.
Yeah, that's all right.
You just look. You talk into that thing that's
we
called a
can't
microphone.
all be show ponies. It's all right.
Yes,
I know, but you're like the beautiful, delightful young one
that's
in the
right.
team, and look at her skin.
Oh, don't even.
Thank you.
So, Olivia, you joined us as an intern last year, and I basically made her stay.
Yeah, fantastic. Why wouldn't you?
Very lucky to have you. You do all of our social media and podcasts and all that sort of stuff. And what's your reflections? What's going on with you? What do you reckon for this year?
I feel like I've had a super lucky year. A lot of that thanks to you, Joe, in terms of all the beautiful women I've got to meet and all the
things I've been shown and just showing me what's possible. And
the things I've been shown. That makes it sound like I took you night clubbing.
Joe's taught me everything there is.
We're going to Revolver on Saturday night, babe.
Spearmint Rhino, here we come.
No, but I've had a good year. It's been crazy.
And what you've got your finger on the pulse as far as what to do that's fun, that's going to see us through these holidays. What would you recommend?
I think barefoot bowls is making a huge comeback.
Did it go away?
Yeah, did it?
Well, maybe I've just discovered it.
Because you're young, I forgot.
Yeah.
But it's great.
It is fun,
Drinks on the green, and it's silly, and you try and figure it out. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that.
And I love the feeling of grass under my feet. Love it. Being a country kid, I still don't like wearing shoes. Like, I really don't. Like, I love going barefoot, which is hard in Melbourne, but you can do at a bowling green.
A bit of glass on the pavement.
A little bit of glass.
Be a little bit mindful.
That's been there for a couple of months.
Yeah.
There's a little lump.
I love a bit of barefoot bowls. That is super fun. And, well, Livy, thank you so much for this incredible 12 months. And, you make our social media look so pretty. Oh,
yeah, gorgeous.
Just gorgeous.
Thank you very much.
And as always, we punch way above our weight for what we do and what kind of what we have at our disposable.
Our disposables.
Oh, get me that gin and
so I can see someone saying on social media it's not too early.
But thank you so much, Liv. I just am so grateful to have you.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah, ace. We'll see you in 2023. And finally, a new addition to the team, but again, she is extraordinary. Triana, it is so lovely to have you as a part of our team. You took over the broadcasting side of things because you yourself, you're on mic as well. We can hear you Monday nights on Joy. Yes. But you're an incredible whiz over on that side of the mic as well.
Well, I had to very quickly learn how this particular piece of software works because I had not used it until I started here. And now I think, today happened.
Yeah.
Today went to air.
Yeah. You are amazing. You pulled together more than we've ever pushed into one show.
There's buttons being dialed. There's things being turned up and down.
You're extremely cool as a cucumber as well. Same as Ro. It's quite a skill to be able to.
Well, you've got to be though. When the talent's so high strung,
Hey, I am offended.
I'm going to go there. Wow. Okay.
No,
you need the calm waters over there behind the desk.
True. What's your reflection of this year been like for you?
Oh, look, in terms of broad radio, I came on quite late. It was what? August,
Shorgust, yeah.
Shorgust. Yeah.
And I wasn't sure how I was going to go with it because, being a trans woman coming into a space that is for women, by women, I don't know, sometimes that can feel awkward, like I'm intruding or like I kind of don't belong there, but that's not how it's felt at all. It's been really, really lovely.
My God, we love having you.
That's not how it is. And I think, it bears saying anyone who's made you feel like that can fuck off.
Totally.
I say that as an avowed feminist. I find it really, really upsetting in this space when trans women are excluded or worse. And you are absolutely part of this team and welcome in all women's spaces, I would say.
Yeah. 100%. And your skill, let me just say, you know so much, and I love that you have that on-air kind of experience as well with Joy.
Am I going as red as the border is here?
No.
Oh my God, you're talking me up. Goodness.
No, it's great.
Did you not listen to the whole show? I've already told her off. Now it's my time with you. Thank you, Joe. You're welcome.
So I'm really grateful to you, Triana, for coming on board Broad Radio because you joined us right at the time you sort of went kind of almost full-time at Joy as well, and I was like, oh, damn, I'm going to lose her just when I got her. So I'm really grateful that you've stuck with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for bringing me on.
You've got your finger on the music pulse very much. I learned a lot about music from you already, and Ro, she knows a lot about music. So what do you reckon we're doing over the next couple of months?
Music all slows down over the Christmas New Year period, so I don't know what I can recommend except for if there's a song or an album that you love throughout the year, go back and listen to it again. Maybe.
Do you do a carol?
Do I do a carol? I might a carol.
Have you got a fave?
So I have a playlist on Spotify and on Apple Music called "Oh Christmas Triana." That is full of like Christmas songs, but they've got to be a little bit more current. So I've kind of ruled out "All I Want for Christmas Is You" by Mariah Carey and "Last Christmas" by Wham. But like some more contemporary ones, some songs that have come out in the last few years, and so I'll be blasting that playlist.
I love it.
Okay.
Oh, Christmas Triana.
Can you
that's
share that
amazing.
playlist?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm on
Drop
it.
a link through.
Amazing. Well, again, thank you so much. Honestly. And I need to mention also Beck, who's not with us today because she's off doing her day job, but Beck Lewis as well. These women have just brought us along to this moment this year, and we wouldn't be here without you all. So thank you so much. You're amazing.
Right, go this way now?
Yeah, all right, sure. Nelly, thank you so much for
my absolute
this
pleasure.
year. It's just, I really love the laughs and the intellect. It's the perfect combination. It's like,
Look.
if that was your Tinder profile, I'd be like, hello.
Oh, I could share my Tinder profile. No, I really genuinely love it. I think it's really important space to be in, and I think one of the big things that I've learned, I've been in feminist spaces and women's spaces, from sort of my late teens, and the thing I try and teach my daughter now is take up space. And to me that is what Broad Radio is about. It's kind of going, I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to find the barriers there and sit there and go, oh, there's barriers. I'm going to take up space. And that's a really powerful thing for women to do, to honour their own contribution and voice.
Thank you for saying that. I have to tell you, I find it really hard to take up space.
I know you do,
and
darling.
it's
That's why I'm so hard on you.
Oh my God, I have moments where I'm, don't sleep at night from anxiety about that. So,
but it drives me nuts because it's the people who are talented, thoughtful, making a contribution, who are reflective, and a lot of those people are women who don't take up space, who actually step back and go, oh, I don't want to be too up myself. I don't want to. You're exactly the person who should be taking up that space.
Well, thank you very much, darling. And it's just been a great joy to have a laugh with you. Oh,
And
such
Merry
good laughs.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I should just mention what's happening next year is we've got our podcast studio, which you can come and rent, and we're making podcasts. So stay tuned for our website, which will be launched earlier in the year, where you'll be able to engage the services of Broad Radio and our Broad Pods arm.
Take up some space.
Take up some space. We are raising investment earlier next year as well, which you will hear about, of course, and our long-awaited app will be launched next year.
Very
so
exciting.
It's a big year, 2023.
Yep.
It has been a loose hour and a half now, but thank you so much for joining us if you did, and always check out our other amazing interviews with all these extraordinary people, Broad Radio on the Go, which is our podcast. You can tune into that wherever you get your podcasts. Have an amazing Christmas. Nelly, I love you. I love everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody.
We'll see you in 2023.
But boys like you tell pretty lies. The 5 a.m. low in your eyes says